This AI prompt helps me take one video and turns it into a crap load of content, like 10, 20, sometimes even 30 pieces of content that I can use for my business to generate leads and to make money. And very specifically, I'm going to show you how to take a YouTube video transcript or a Loom video transcript, or basically any transcript that you have created an audio or video from, and how you could turn that into lots of content for your business to help save you some time and hopefully help you generate way more leads with less work. So let's go ahead and dive into how this works. And so basically I'm going to show you the prompt and I'm going to walk you through a demo of how to do this, but you could take one video on YouTube, or quite frankly, like you can even do this. So say you don't like to do video or whatever, and you just like to write. As long as you have like actual stuff that you could feed it that you created, because that's the secret with this, is you have to have created it. This is why the transcripts work so well. This is where most people go wrong with trying to create content from AI, is it's very chat GPT. It's super vanilla. It looks like everybody else's. It doesn't actually make a really big impact in their business because it's chat GPT. The power here is using your voice, your tone, your authenticity, your actual stories. That's what makes this work. And that's why the transcript is the foundation for this all. Now, once you take that video, you can use it to create Facebook posts or Instagram posts or emails or even lead magnets and so many other pieces, which I'll show you here in just a minute. And so the first thing that we're going to need is the transcript. And so we're going to start with YouTube, and then I'll show you a couple other ways that you can grab a transcript. Maybe you're not using YouTube, maybe you're using Loom, or maybe you're just taking an audio from like a podcast and you want to use that. So there are different ways that you can get a transcript. Let's go ahead and start with YouTube. So in YouTube, if you go to your YouTube video that you want the transcript from, and you click on the More button in the description, you are going to see, and let me zoom out on this so you can see it, boom. You're going to see the word transcript, and you're going to click Show Transcript. And from here, you're going to copy this entire transcript on the right-hand side all the way down, okay? Now, for the purposes of time, I've already gone through this, just to be able to show you. And let me click, boom. So you could see I've copied this transcript in. Now what I'm going to show you is the actual AI prompt that you're going to use. And so here's the AI prompt cheat sheet that I have. And by the way, if you do not have this cheat sheet from me and you want it, either click below wherever you're watching this video, or if you don't see it for whatever reason, just shoot me a DM on Facebook or Instagram and I'm happy to be able to give this to you. But this AI cheat sheet, so before we even get into the prompt really quick, just to make this easier on you, here's a pre-prompt that you can use. What's really important is that you feed AI your messaging too, so it knows who you're helping. Because the transcript is obviously key to be able to create really good, authentic content that sounds like you. But if your AI doesn't know who you're speaking to, it's just gonna maybe make it a little bit more difficult for you. So here's a prompt that you can use. You could fill in who your audience is, the core problems they have, the wants and aspirations, and all of that stuff. Now the AI prompt that we use here is turning YouTube videos into lead magnets. So this is the main prompt that I start with, and then it makes the rest of the kind of prompting way easier. And so you might want to engineer this a little bit more, but basically I copy over the script, and it's taking it's assuming the role of an expert ghostwriter that is specifically skilled in matching my voice, my tone, my cadence, my word choices, and then I give it certain rules. And so for this first one, I'm going to turn it into a blog post. And if you want to see an example of this all done, this is a recent one that I've already created based off of this video here. It was a YouTube video on how to build a wildly profitable and impactful coaching business. And it takes all of my stuff, my words, my everything, and it puts it right into here so this sounds exactly like me because it's coming from a transcript. And so, with all that said, we come in here. And so this was already pasted ahead of time just to show you how it looks and how it works. So if we come down here, boom. So this basically wrote the blog article first. I personally like to start with a longer piece of content off of the video. Maybe you don't want to do that, and that's fine. You could just go right in. You could just re-engineer that prompt to make an email or make a post. What I like to do is I will then create more stuff out of it. So once you have that main prompt in, it becomes easier. And this is at least how I use ChatGPT. It's really simple. I say, hey, turn this into a compelling email that provides massive value to my avatar, right? And then from there, I'm able to tweak things up as need be. But because this is all pulling from that original prompt and from the transcript that I've given it, it's going to come out sounding just like me. And so here's an email, right? I could say, so as a quick little, give you some context to what I'm about to share with you, is in my world, at least what I do is I have 4 different types of content that I post and that I teach people how to post. There is connection content. This is where you're sharing your personal story, your values, your beliefs, what you stand for, what you stand against, things like that. There's influence content, to where you are shifting commonly held misconceptions, shifting beliefs around commonly held misconceptions or mistakes that your audience is making, or limiting beliefs that they have, or objections, things like that. Then there's authority content. That's where you're sharing insights with your audience, or you're showing social proof, basically like thought leadership type content. And then there's conversion content, to where you're creating really good hooks and call to actions, driving people towards like an offer, a promotion, or a masterclass, or a training, or a workshop, or something like that. And so that's how I basically speak to it, is like, I'll say, hey, turn this into a belief shifting piece of content, pull from the same stories that I shared in the transcript. And then it's going to create a piece of content, right? You can even like get more specific. Hey, I want you to create a caption for Instagram based off my transcript. Keep it 2,200 characters, blah, 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 right? And it'll do that as well. And so you could see it becomes endless, right? So you can give it rules. And I think that's the most important point. And so then from there, what we do at least is we'll take that same, YouTube or Loom or whatever, there's many ways you could do it, and we'll drop it into, boom, opus.io, and then we'll get clips, and it'll spit us out a bunch of reels and things like that based off of that one video. Now, how else do we use this transcript, and where do you get the transcript? So sometimes we use a Loom video. Maybe I'm doing a Loom video for a client, or I'm doing one to help somebody out, or for my own business. And you could go into Loom, and there's on the right-hand side this button that says transcript. And you can basically do the exact same thing and take the Loom transcript. And if you're using audio, it was maybe for a podcast or something like that, there are like services that you can use. Like I think rev.com is one. Descript is one that we use regularly to be able to grab the transcript from those services as well. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I need to go through a tutorial on that. Now, the last thing I'll say on this is, and let me share this with you. If you are having trouble still, so this is the main prompt, right? We have one for YouTube and we have one for Loom. The core of this is right here, right? You can come in here and change the rules depending on what you're looking for if you're not going to create a blog. I personally always start with the long form one because we technically have a blog. And so I take every video and we turn it into a blog as well. But maybe you want to do like I do. So my exact process for this is I create the video. We then create a blog from it. I create an email promoting the video. I create an email promoting the blog for a different day. It's all the one and the same, right? But it goes, 2 different mediums. Then I create an email that basically takes the transcripts and gives pure value to my audience based off of the things I shared in the transcript. And I can direct it to, do I want it to be more authoritative? Do I want it to be more persuasive and belief shifting? You can ask it to take the transcript and to create a workshop outline or a masterclass outline, and so you could take these prompts and you can use this and just change up the rules and change up the kind of engineering behind it to make it spit out what you want. But the core of it is right here, and this has worked phenomenally well for me. Now, if you're still trying to figure out AI, we have tons of stuff in here that I've tried and tested over the years with content. And so you could teach it how you want it to write. You can help it generate like subject lines and stuff for you, titles. You could, but all of this, I'm telling you, if you use it based off of your transcript and your writing style, like just taking the things that you want to produce more content like, it's just going to make it way more powerful for you. Okay? And so I'll end off by saying this. Like, the secret to this is, leveraging AI and systems to make your life easier, to work smarter, not harder. But do not fall into the trap of being ChatGPT'd. The real power here comes from you creating really good content. So for example, I spend time every week creating a really good YouTube video. Something that I feel is going to be super valuable for my audience. I spend time creating it, like actually coming up with the content from it. Whether sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 minutes and then I record the video. Sometimes it takes me an hour, 2 hours to create the stuff. Then I do the video, right? But nonetheless, I'm putting in effort to creating it. And then once a month, I'm creating a really good workshop or training or a masterclass that I can deliver to my audience. And then I spend a lot more time promoting that content, right? And so I'm leveraging AI to help me create content that helps promote that. So I can get more people to see my long-form content. It's the secret this day and age. It's not about getting, leads, right? It's about getting people in your audience to be able to spend time with you consuming your content. The longer somebody spends time consuming your content, the quicker that they are going to know you, like you, trust you, and want to be able to buy from you. And so that is the key. It's putting time into creating more quality over quantity, because we live in this era where information is a commodity. We're bombarded by information. So the world doesn't need you to push out a bunch of crappy content. It needs you to spend time creating good content. It's going to solve problems for people. It's going to give insights to people. It's going to shift perspectives, give hope, and inspire people to take action. Like when you can put time into that, quality over quantity, and then leverage AI to be able to create things that help promote that stuff, right? Or in some cases, like we're talking about today, is you could take that really good piece of content, whether it is a Facebook Live you did, or a YouTube video, or a Loom video, or something like that, taking the transcript and then using that to get that same message out in different mediums, right? And so if I take that transcript and again, create a post for Facebook or Instagram, now somebody gets to see that content in a shorter frame, but it's still getting that same message in front of the audience, but in a little bit of a different way. So that's my message to you today, is like, whether you're using this to create 2 pieces of extra content, or 5 or 10 or 20 or 30, which I think is excessive, but I have tested it for that before and just to see how much I can create. Always remember, it's quality first, quantity second. Quality is more important than anything. And then use this and leverage this to be able to just get that, to promote more of that content, right? And then to get that same message out in different ways so that you can really be able to indoctrinate your audience into the messaging that is going to be able to change their lives and help make your business lots of money in the process. So if you have any questions for me about this, if you want to see this, if you don't have it yet and you want to get access to the AI prompt cheat sheet, again, look below this video or shoot me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, and I'm happy to help. And as always, I hope that this was super helpful for you. And remember, your message matters now more than it ever has before. Don't be afraid to speak it. Be seen, be heard, and be impactful.